Mookie Betts has turned the corner and will most likely play on opening day. Is that the right decision? We've got a starting rotation mega preview with bold predictions, the top 5 moments for Dodgers opening day history, and you won't believe what Jazz Chisholm is claiming that Miguel Rojas did. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Ronnie, the parade. We got a parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Ohtani starts the 50-50 clock. Mookie magic. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain, credential member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Now, if you haven't yet, do us a huge favor, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, and we're still taking submissions for our next giveaway. We did hit 120,000 subscribers, so special thanks to Dodgers Nation out there. And our next big giveaway is a Roki Sasaki number 11 authentic Dodgers jersey. These are going to be available very soon here. And all you have to do to be eligible for the giveaway is comment Roki of the Year. Roki of the Year. I've seen Nike use that. A lot of people use that. Don't forget, your boy coined that phrase. So definitely comment Roki of the Year down below and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and you will be eligible for the jersey. Another thing you need to do is subscribe to the Discord channel. It is the fastest growing Dodgers Discord channel in the game. Thousands of members. And then we've got the VIP Nation access that we just dropped to $6.99. Now the season is underway. You're going to be getting insider stuff, lineups, quotes, things before the rest of Dodgers Nation. You can get there, exclusive merch, Q&As, giveaways. We just did a giveaway for one of our Discord members, and it was Kelly Oshiro who won the belt, the same belt that the great Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto, where she wore this belt. We got a picture. We'll show you guys. Check this out. Kelly Oshiro repping the belt with her Ohtani jersey and her bobblehead and her Dodgers City Connect hat. You know you got like 50,000 Dodgers hats when you got the City Connect one. You got the logo there. So shout out to Kelly Oshiro. Show her some love winning that jersey. But definitely drop those comments down below, guys. Later in the show, we'll do the 7th inning stretch. It's been a while. We are back in the studio. Second show back in the studio since being back from Japan. And we are doing the 7th inning stretch later. We're going to answer all of your hard-hitting questions. Anything you got about your boys in blue, drop it for the 7th inning stretch. We'll answer your questions. And also, we're looking for that comment of the show. If you get the comment of the show, we feature it on Instagram. We feature it on the X. And producer Tony Tater's looking for your comments of the show. We got Noel Sanchez rocking with us. He's looking for your comments of the show. But we have so much to get into. So let's get right into it. You know, we start with the leadoff.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
So the hottest story in Dodger baseball is that all of a sudden, Marcus Lynn Betts, who said a couple days ago that he was not happy with how things were going with the fact that he could not hold down food. He couldn't eat anything without throwing up. He said he had the most miserable flights of his life going to Japan and coming back from Japan, that he had lost 20 plus pounds, and he just was not feeling right because he could not hold down food. His chances of playing on opening day seemed like they were dwindling because if he couldn't hold down food, there's no way that he could play. And then all of a sudden, Mookie woke up, and it looks like it went a complete 180. Not only did he play, he is going to most likely be in that Dodgers lineup on opening day. Here was Mookie Betts yesterday talking about what changed and the fact that he is starting to feel better. And finally, he's holding down food.
Oh, yeah, I'm perfectly fine, perfectly normal.
Yeah.
So Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just to play baseball. I mean, it's been, I don't even know how many days it's been, but just to play baseball and try and get back into the rhythm. I mean, I don't have much time, but it is what it is. I'm actually stronger than I was before. My body's been perfectly fine. It's only been my stomach. That's literally only my stomach. I've been working out, doing everything perfectly normal. It was just hard to hold down food, but I'm fine now. No, I think it's just a little time, and I'm sure some medicine worked. Yeah, to answer your question, yeah.
So that was pretty interesting. So he was asked about the end there, if the medicine was effective as one of the reasons why he's feeling better. And then he said no. Then all of a sudden he said yes. So they're trying to be private about this, and I totally respect that. And look, the most important thing is that the Dodgers were not going to let him play if they felt that he was going to increase his risk of injury. And he said he's stronger than ever. I definitely believe that, just seeing Mookie Betts working, but he needed to put the weight back on. So look, hopefully we'll not remember this. I mean, hopefully we won't remember this, and this will just be a little 2-week thing. And it was like, oh wait, why wasn't Mookie playing that Tokyo series? I was just right. He was sick. He didn't have. He had a little stomach flu, and it wasn't working out. So that's a good thing. And he also talked about, hey, he's gonna play, and that's his expectation. He was asked if he was going to play on opening day against the Detroit Tigers, and here's what he had to say.
Yeah. I mean, I played in the game. Once I step foot on the dirt, I'm ready to go. I just figured out what it was. I figured out what I need to stay away from, and maybe turn the corner. I'll keep that in the house.
Yeah, he was asked at the end that what was the food that he has to stay away from, and he said that he has to keep that in house. So I don't know what that was. I mean, Tommy's chili burgers, I don't know what it was, but yeah, it's something that was irritating him, and he's clearly okay. And my big takeaways from this are, one, I love the fact that Mookie is so determined to play, because that if he was not at 100%, they have the depth. You got Miguel Rojas, you have Tommy Edman and Chris Taylor and Kike Hernandez. You have 4 guys that can play shortstop. You got another one down the minor league level in Hassan Kim. You got a lot of guys that can step in and fill that role while he gets back. But Mookie, even someone who's won an MVP, who's a future Hall of Famer, that's coming off a World Series title, he wants to start the year as the opening day shortstop. And I think one of the biggest reasons why is because he wants to show that everything that he's done the offseason is going to make him an average to above average shortstop. And when you're an average to an above average shortstop, you are one of the best and most valuable players in the sport. Let's not forget that. And I think that Mookie does not want to say, okay, I'm on the IL and I have to come back and work my way into it. No, I think he's very, very anxious to get going. He's very, very anxious to make sure that he gets the season started right. And I think that for him, it's the biggest compliment to say, look, I'm a gamer. I'm someone that wants to be in there every single game. And let's not forget that for his issues at shortstop and his shortcomings, where he was 48th out of 53 when it comes to kind of overall shortstop defense, and you saw some of the issues there, he was still top 3 in shortstop FWAR by the time he went down with that injury. He was right up there with guys like Gunnar Henderson and Bobby Witt Jr., and that's because of how good his bat is. So I think that he is going to play that shortstop position at an average level, and that's going to make him a top 3 shortstop in baseball this season. So those are the expectations I have. You just can't bet against Mookie Betts, and I think that is what we know. Now, last night he did go hitless in 3 at-bats. So the offense wasn't there. It was good to see him back out there. And Mookie Betts, he's going to be out there for the Dodgers to start the season. That's how it looks right now. Here's what Dave Roberts had to say about the Mookie Betts situation.
Yeah, I think with Mookie, obviously we're a lot of anticipation for him being back in the lineup. What do we expect to see? My hope is that he takes 3 at-bats, plays, 4 or 5 innings of defense, and comes out of it feeling good and wanting for more. And then we'll kind of assess how he feels tomorrow as he takes more live at bats tomorrow during the workout. That was kind of the thought, but he has put weight back on in the last couple of days, which we feel good about. The strength testing that he's done speaks to his strength, where it's at, which is a good thing. We've managed the dehydration piece of it. He's holding food down the last couple of days. So all signs point towards we've turned a corner, and we feel good about where he's at for tonight.
So just being at spring training, being in Tokyo, and just talking to people about the preparation that Mookie has put in for this season, I think that it's going to be a story this year when you see how much better and the improvements that he's shown early on the season. During the first of the year, right when the first of the year went around, Mookie went down to Austin and he worked with Troy Tulowitzki. He worked with Troy Tulowitzki and he learned some things. And as far as the throwing angles and getting himself set to throw, he's always had an adequate arm. You've seen the highlight throws from right field, just gunning down guys, but it was getting those arm angles down and setting his feet and being able to make that throw. So, like I said, he goes down to Austin, works with Troy Tulowitzki, and the confidence starts to grow and gets higher. And then he worked with Petey Montero of the Dodgers. He's one of the video coordinators for the team. They get together a game plan and they start putting in some work as well. So I think for me, it's been an off season where Mookie is absolutely showing that, hey, you say I can't do something? Let me show you. Okay? Try to doubt me. So he's put in the work. Tulowitzki, coaches, reps, having Miguel Rojas there, and that is something I think is going to pay dividends. So I'm really hoping for this. I really, really am. And I think that Shohei Ohtani, if he comes back and he makes 10 to 12 to 15 starts and has a ERA around 3 and he looks elite on the mound when he's out there and he gives you 40 to 50 home runs, it's going to be impossible not to give Shohei Ohtani the MVP. But if for whatever reason Shohei doesn't make a ton of starts or misses any time for any reason, which I don't think is going to be the case because he's very durable, but if Mookie plays shortstop and hits at that level, considering the fact that it's the first time we've ever seen a superstar take on this challenge north of 30, I think that Mookie Betts will be right there for MVP. I think Mookie Betts is going to finish top 3 in MVP voting in the National League with a chance to win it. But it's tough because his teammate is Shohei Ohtani. And when he does Shohei Ohtani things, I think he should be the unanimous MVP. I don't think it should be close because no one can do what he does. Now, speaking of shortstops, before we switch gears to the pitching side, I saw this come out this morning. And there was a little report that was involving Jazz Chisholm. And Jazz Chisholm talking about Miguel Rojas. And it says, when Chisholm arrived in the big leagues in 2020, he brought 20 custom pairs of cleats that he bought and designed himself. They displayed his passions from Oreo cookies to the anime series Black Clover and even the video game Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Marlins infielder Miguel Rojas did not see artistry. Rojas saw a flashy rookie who needed to be put in his place. That meant taking a pair of those custom cleats and cutting them up with the scissors. That meant ruining another pair of shoes by filling them with milk. That is one of the more bizarre stories we've heard in recent memories. I want to talk to Miguel Rojas personally about this because I don't know if I believe it. I really don't know if I believe it. But rookies are going to rookie and vets are going to vet. And there's things that stay in big league clubhouses that should stay in big league clubhouses. And we know that Jazz Chisholm has had his issues with Miguel Rojas. But what I will say is, talking to players within this Dodgers organization since Miguel Rojas has returned, he is viewed as one of the team leaders. He is viewed as one of the most respected guys in that clubhouse. Someone that can take young players under his wing, give them advice. Someone that can always be a positive influence to anyone. So I mean, maybe this was something that actually happened. Who knows? But I don't think that this is some indicator that Miguel Rojas was a bad teammate. I think that Miguel Rojas is elite when it comes to being a teammate, and that's because players say that. Jazz Chisholm doesn't believe that. Fine. But the truth is that the winners in this league, the guys that have won World Series, the guys that have been at the top of their game, have spoken very highly of Miguel Rojas. But I just found that to be a really interesting story. And here's the thing, Miguel Rojas is someone that has a lot of custom cleats himself. He loves Jordans and Nikes. Doesn't seem like it's something that he would be doing there. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on that? A very interesting nugget that I came across before the show. Got a super chat from Abstract. I want to read this really quick. It says, all Mookie needed was some good tussin'. All right. Are you talking about that Chris Rock bit where he talks about Chris Rock? I remember that bit from Chris Rock where he said, when I was a kid, no matter what it was, my parents would just pour Robitussin on it. It was like, yeah, cold tussin, flu tussin. If you had a broken arm, it's just, hey, pour some tussin on there. Let that tussin get in there. So I don't know if that's reference to that, but yeah, he's feeling better, and it's a great thing for the Dodgers because it was concerning. It really was. I mean, the fact that they couldn't get to the bottom of it, the fact that he wasn't feeling good, losing weight, but he's going to be fine. Mookie Betts is going to be ready to go for opening day. Now, speaking of guys that have been dealing with injuries for the last couple of seasons, or guys that have dealt with stuff that was a little more on the bizarre side, Dustin May. Dustin May, he's been on the wrong side of injury luck for the last couple of seasons. And you know how talented he is when he's right. But unfortunately, it's the arm injuries. He also had that esophageal tear where he took a bite of some lettuce and then he felt like he was on fire. And they actually did surgery where they had to go through his abdomen to clear that lettuce. And he's got a new lease on life. He's got a new perspective. And I think one of the big storylines this season, and the reason why I had Dustin May as my second highest Dodgers X Factor of the season, is because the stuff is so damn good. When he's right, he has the stuff that projects to be a top 3 starter in a major league rotation. And last night, Dustin May, he got the start in the Dodgers spring training finale, and he was really fantastic. You saw the movement there. You saw the swing and miss. And for Dustin May, he allowed a couple base runners. He put 4 men on with 2 outs in his 5 innings of work. But it was the movement. It was the movement and the strikeouts and the fact that he was landing his curveball for strikes. The fact that he was using that swing and miss the way he did. And there's no doubt about it. When he is right, he is someone that's going to be able to help this team. In his spring training work, he went 10 innings, posted 3.60 ERA, had 12 strikeouts, and he's going to make his debut for the Dodgers this season on Tuesday against the Atlanta Braves. So he is the Dodgers' number 5 starter to start the year. And here was Dustin May talking about just the emotions of pitching in a big league ballpark for the first time in a long time since 2023. And also the emotions that he's going to go through when he makes his first start in the regular season at Dodger Stadium.
There was a lot of emotions going through the head. Definitely not as many as my first outing back, but definitely looking forward to my next one, Dodger Stadium. That one's going to hit home a little bit more. But it was really, really good to get back on a big league field, feel the energy, feel the stands, and just get back into actual, like a big league game kind of feel. I feel like there's going to be a lot more emotions for me because of all the time that I've had to think about it. When I first got called up for my debut, I mean, it was like a 4-day thing, so it was like kind of right on it. But for this, I mean, I was waiting for, 13 months, and then the esophagus thing happened, and then that changed my perspective on a lot of things in life. And I'm excited. Just going to put it that way. I'm excited.
So he's pumped. He's excited. Dustin Mania is going to make his return to the mound this year. And I think the big difference for him is just spotting that breaking ball the way he can use that breaking ball, throwing curveballs for strikes, not using it just as a swing and miss out pitch. That's going to change things. I think, too, you're looking at the velocity where he's been sitting 95, 96, pumping it up to 97. I don't think that he's necessarily going to be that guy that's going to be just completely emptying the tank on every single pitch. But that is, I think, a sign of growth for him. Let's not forget, he's a free agent after this season. He has a lot of incentive to pitch well this year and set himself up for a nice payday, whether that be with the Dodgers or another team. But one of the big questions is, how is he going to handle this stretch right now? With Tony Gonsolin out with the back injury, he tweaked his back lifting weights. That opened the door for Dustin May to get that spot in the rotation, because I'm going to tell you that had Tony Gonsolin not got injured, that was going to be his spot, because he was ahead of Dustin May last season, because he was further along with the rehab, because Dustin May had the setback with the esophageal tear. Tony Gonsolin was going to get that spot, and Dustin May was going to start out of the bullpen. They were going to use him in a little bit of a hybrid role. Now he'll get the chance, a handful of starts, to make his case to say, hey, when Gonsolin is ready, when Kersh is ready, when some of these guys are going to be on their way back, where am I going to fit in? Because let's not forget, all of these guys, if they stay healthy, Glasnow, Snell, Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki, that's 4 guys right now, plus Dustin May, and you got Kersh, you've got Tony Gonsolin on the mend, and then you got Shohei Ohtani. So this is a big stretch to start the season for Dustin May. For his sake, if he wants to remain in the starting rotation, he has to be effective and perform well early on. But the thing that I think that he has going for him is the stuff is so elite. The stuff plays up at such a high level that he's going to factor in one way or the other. But I know that Dustin May, he wants to be a starting pitcher. And he told me that during spring training, that he was hoping that it was a competition because he wanted to see that. But that two-seamer is nastier than ever. You're looking at a curveball that's nastier than ever. The two-seamer has 22 inches of arm side run. Okay, that is not normal. That profiles as a very effective pitch. But I think what's going to take him to the next level is going to be the curveball, the breaking ball, the secondary stuff, so he doesn't have to rely on the high-velocity stuff and the spin of that two-seamer. Here was Dustin May talking about what's been working with his breaking ball this spring training and how that's allowed him to be more effective out there on the mound.
Just being able to land the breaking ball. That's been my biggest thing in basically my career. It hasn't been very many innings, but I mean, in my career, just being able to land the breaking ball opens up everything else. I mean, I move the ball a lot, and just being able to land the breaking ball in the zone opens everything else up. Yeah, I mean, that was what I was hammering home throughout my whole rehab, was just being able to land the breaking ball, being able to strike the breaking ball. That was what I've been hammering home, because, like, if I can do that, it opens up a lot of doors, like I said. So it helps me out if I can do it, so why not try and be better at it? Yeah, I'd like the shape of the ball. The shape of the breaking ball was where I was wanting it tonight, yeah. Just being able to understand, like, release point and, like, how I want it to break and, like, where I want it to start and stuff like that.
So you hear that right there, how important that breaking ball was. Had 6 strikeouts yesterday, gave up 1 run, gave up just 1 hit, went over 5. And the sequences where the breaking ball was most effective, I mean, you saw against Ward. He goes that curveball, and he got him looking. He rung him up, and that is a great sign. Ward's a talented hitter, right? The Angels, not the best lineup in baseball, but to get someone like Ward looking. And then you look at, against Schnoll, he goes with that 4-seam fastball up in the zone, 97. So when you can mix like that, and you can go curveball and you can go fastball, you're going to make life very, very difficult. I think yesterday it was some of the walks, and he also hit Ohapi with a pitch on a changeup that he just totally missed on arm side. But I'm very, very encouraged by what I've seen from Dustin May. I think it's still a work in progress. He's not a finished product from coming back from the flexor tendon repair, the Tommy John, the esophageal tear. But still, I think he looks better than I thought he was going to look at this stage. And I think that it's going to be exciting to watch. And I do think that he's going to be the breakout player of the year for the Dodgers. I really, really do. He's that guy. This is the year for Dustin May. He is going to be, you can make a case he's the comeback player of the year, can make a case he's the breakout player of the year. But he is going to be that for this team this season. But I will say, I'm waiting for the explosion. I'm waiting for the emotion. What we see from Dustin May when he does the spin, he's all fired up. I'm like, where is that? The reason why that hasn't been as prevalent, there's been absence of that, is because he does have this new perspective. Because let's just be honest, the man almost lost his life due to the esophageal tear and choking on the lettuce, right? So is that emotion coming back? Well, Dustin May, he says it is. He said the emotion certainly is going to come back.
I definitely have the spark inside of me, for sure still. Like, it's definitely in there. It's starting to wake up a little bit as I'm starting to get back into games a little bit more. It was definitely very calm, collected, but as I'm starting to get back in the games and get kind of like my feeling and feet back under me, it's definitely coming back. But yeah, it's definitely going to be more on the shadowed side, but it'll come out every now and then.
So let's get the Dustin Mania back. Let's get fired up and get your tickets to Dustin Mania because it is coming to a ballpark near you. Some comments. Claudia 11. When Dustin May is locked in, he's on point. We got Abstract. 5 starters and a deep bullpen should preserve May nicely. Mo Wheel says, respect Rojas. There's a reason this whole team respects him as a leader. Eduardo Zapata Diaz, Roki, Mookie, Freddie, Shohei, the 4 best in Major League Baseball. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Let's let Roki continue to perform. I wanted to put too much on him early on, but I'm with you. I'm with you on the hype for sure. Mario Landaverde. Dodgers do have the spookiest injuries. I know they really do. They really have some injuries that are certainly spooky for sure. We've got the MG. I know what happened to Mookie. He watched Roki's bullpen and got physically ill from how gross his pitches were. I love that's a comment. It's an early comment of the show. An early comment of the show. I like that down below in the comment section for sure. Yeah, I see people talking about the White House. Yes, the Dodgers will visit the White House. The Dodgers will visit the White House during their series against the Nationals. That'll be on April 7th. They'll be on Capitol Hill on April 8th. The Dodgers tweet out, in keeping with longstanding baseball tradition, President Trump has invited the 2024 World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers to the White House when they play in Washington, D.C. on April 7th. The Dodgers look forward to visiting the White House and celebrating our title. Dave Roberts said, it wasn't a formal conversation we had as a ball club. It certainly is a huge honor to get the invitation to the White House. It allows us to celebrate our 2024 championship. To my understanding, every World Series champion gets that honor. It's a great honor for us to have. So the Dodgers, they will be at the White House, and I think it'll be good for Dave Roberts to go to the White House and celebrate this title. If you remember the tweet that Trump had back in 2018 after he took out Rich Hill, Trump tweeted, watching the Dodgers Sox final innings, it is amazing how a manager takes out a pitcher who is loose and dominating through almost 7 innings, Rich Hill of Dodgers, and brings in nervous reliever who gets shellacked, 4-run lead gone. Managers do it all the time. Big mistake. I wonder if Dave Roberts will talk to Donald Trump about that. What do you think, Antonio? Do you think they'll have a conversation with that?
It's possible. I mean, Donald Trump, he's a huge baseball fan too.
Why are you laughing? I don't know what the joke is. My whole life, there's always been an inside joke around me. I've never been a part of one. I'm still looking to be a part of my first inside joke.
Let's just say Donald Trump and Blake Trine are going to have a good time.
You guys are crazy, man. But yeah, coming up next, we are going to do a deep dive on the starting rotation. I got a bold prediction and projections for every single starting pitcher. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live. What up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here to remind you that if you have not yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast. You can find it wherever you get your podcast. So if you want to listen to the show in audio form, when you're driving to Dodger Stadium, when you're driving from Dodger Stadium, when you're commuting to work, wherever it is, you definitely want to lock into the podcast. We're going to start featuring some podcast exclusives, interviews. So definitely, even if you do watch the show daily on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast wherever your podcast. So be sure to do that. It really supports the channel. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. And And welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, the number one Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. By the way, subscribe to the channel, comment Rookie of the Year down below so you're eligible for the giveaway. But the biggest favor for me is the Discord channel. I cannot wait to continue to interact with you guys, give you behind the scenes content, and we're going to do the call-ins again. Maybe we'll have Jack Wolf back. Maybe we'll have Jack Wolf back on the show. He was a great guest. He was an awesome guest. I remember that conversation. Yeah,
He's gone off the grid.
He has gone off the grid. I think we'll have him back.
I hope you're watching out there, Jack Wolf.
Yeah, Jack Wolf. Him and his dad still having that debate about the Freddie Gibson home run. For sure. But definitely join the Discord so you can call in. You get behind the scenes calls and stuff, merch. It's the way to go. And also my new channel, The Big Lead. It's the hottest stories in sports in less than an hour. We're covering everything from football, basketball, baseball, every single thing. The juicy topics, you're going to find it over there. We're going to do a lot of baseball. We're going to get some interviews of former Dodger players too. Gavin Lux, Ryan Pepia, guys like that are going to be on this year. So definitely join The Big Lead. I would really, really appreciate it. But here in our second set, we have a jam-packed show, guys. Still got the best moments from opening day. We've got the 7th-inning stretch, all kinds of stuff. But let's take a look at the starting rotation. I'm calling it the murderer's rotation. It's an embarrassment of pitches. This could go down as one of the best rotations in the history of Major League Baseball. And I want to start with Tyler Glasnow because Tyler Glasnow has not gotten a lot of hype this offseason, not a lot of discussion because of the injuries that he's dealt with throughout his career. And yes, those injuries have been a problem, but let's also point out the fact last 2 seasons started 21 games, started 22 games. Before that, he had never started more than 14 games. So yes, he did have his season cut short last year and he didn't finish the season, but things have trended in the right direction as far as starts. Also, he set a career high in innings last year with 134. So he pitched more innings than he ever had. The starts were there. It's just about keeping him on the mound. And I have to remind you that as good as Blake Snell and Shohei and Roki and Yamamoto are, that when Tyler Glasnow is right and he's on his best day, he's as good as anyone in Major League Baseball. Stuff Plus bears that out. The numbers bear that out. Go back and look at the highlights when he had a 14 strikeout game on just 88 pitches. He was the first player in big league history since they started charting that in 1988 to have 14 strikeouts or more on less than 90 pitches. That is elite. And the thing I look at with Tyler Glasnow is he had a very great start. He was elite to start the season. March and April, he made 7 starts, had a 2.72 ERA, a 2.75 FIP, 43 innings, 53 punch-outs. Opponents hit 181 off of him. Then in May, opponents were still hitting 165, but the ERA went up a little bit. The FIP was great, though, 2.59 FIP. June, though, the ERA went up a little bit. It's 3.72, but the FIP was at 2.75, and opponents hit 2.15. So his numbers as a whole are elite. I mean, you look at how he fared last season. He led the Dodgers in so many categories, right? I mean, strikeouts, a strikeout rate at 32.5%. Opponents hit just 190 off of him, had a 244 on base and slugged 347. He was second on the team in innings. He led the team in strikeouts. He led the Dodgers in whip. The only pitcher that had a better FIP on the team last year was Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So it's just about keeping him healthy. And last year, it was the elbow situation. He had the elbow discomfort, and unfortunately, he just could not overcome it. And they tried to get him back, but they did not want to take that risk because the last thing you want to do is force him back into a situation and have him go on the IL for a long period of time, or you would have him on a surgery, right? You don't want to have that. But he had a streak, though. I mean, Glasnow did not miss a start until July 9th when he went on the IL with a back injury. And there was a lot of discussion about, hey, this is just to give him some additional rest, and he was going to be back right after the All-Star break. He had pitched 109 innings, just 11 shy of his career high, came back on July 24th, and against the Giants, he had to leave the game. And you had a situation there was, okay, it's more of the same. It's going to be the same situation, and they're going to have more setbacks. But unfortunately, what would happen was after he pitched 134 innings, he had more setbacks, and then in September, they said that he was done for the year. But the thing that I'm most encouraged by is they're not just running it back with Tyler Glasnow and saying, let's do the exact same thing and hope that it doesn't happen. No, they made a tweak to his delivery. I've been on him about this entire offseason. I asked him about it first at Dodger Fest. I asked him about it during spring training. And I also was able to catch up with Tyler Glasnow in Tokyo and talk to him about how this little tweak to his delivery is going to lead to a healthy season and how it's already paying dividends early on. And he seems like a new man. He seems like he knows that this is going to change not just the course of his season, but potentially the course of his career. Here's my short conversation with Tyler Glasnow talking about the adjustment that he made to his delivery this offseason. First, I want to ask you, pitching the other day, hearing that cheering section, what was that like? And do you want to see Major League Baseball have that?
Yeah, it was sick. It was really cool. It's hard sometimes when you're pitching to even notice like what's going on. Like I don't remember vividly like how loud it was while I was pitching, but when I'm sitting in the dugout, I can hear it, and it's cool. It's very like uniform and everyone's on the same page. It's super unique. I've never actually like been or seen it in person.
Yeah, as far as Tokyo, just the big takeaways, being with this group, you guys out and about, the dinner, what was the best thing you ate, and just what was the most memorable moment from that?
It was so good. They did such a good job putting it on. We had like a ton of courses. I was so full, but I ate everything. I think the best course was probably the tuna. They cut it live in front of us, and we had like fatty, medium, lean. And I had so much tuna leading up to it, but it was like the best tuna I think I had. It was really good.
Yeah, I know you like to travel.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about Tokyo so far?
The food. I'd say the food, and the people are super nice. Everything's just so clean too. Everything's very like, I don't know. It's like very uniform, and everyone's super cool, and it's just been really fun.
And you already knew Shohei Ohtani was so famous, but being here, is there any kind of story that you have that kind of just paints the picture of just how massively famous he is in this town, in this country?
I guess not really anything like specific. I think just walking around, he's like faces everywhere, so that's pretty.
And we know when you're right, you're as good as any pitcher in Major League Baseball. As far as kind of the little tweak you made to your delivery, you said it was subtle, but just now that we're months into it, how does that feel? And do you think that that's going to be the biggest key to you staying healthy and dominating all season?
I think so. Like changed up some of the routine stuff. The changes have helped so far. Like I feel really good recovery-wise. Like I threw 2 days ago, and the recovery right now is really good. So hopefully I can keep going through all season.
And just out of curiosity, is kind of the baseball nerd, like what exactly is it? Is it kind of a shortened extension to the plate, or kind of what exactly is the difference?
Stuff like I'm not like I think sometimes when I would land and be late, I'd be so ripped out, like landing with my spine curved, that it'd just be like a lot of stress on my arms. So I'm just trying to stay more neutral when I land and not be so overextended. And it's not something I have to even think about a lot. It's just such a small adjustment, and I've been feeling good with it so far. So
awesome. Well, Tyler, thank you so much. We know you're gonna have a great year, and I appreciate it, man. Take it easy, Tyler. So there was Tyler Glasnow. You can hear the confidence. You can hear it almost feels like he has found an answer to a question he's been wondering for years. Why can't I stay healthy? Even though I'm in great shape, even though I put in the work in between starts, what is it about it? And the point is you want to take less stress off the elbow. And that's the biggest thing, is that with his extension, a lot of times the extension was so far from the mound to the plate that it just puts so much force on that elbow. Now it's going to be more of a natural extension, keeping that spine and everything aligned towards home plate, and things aren't going to be falling out of order. And that's when guys get hurt. That's when mechanics get sloppy. And that's why you see Tyler Glasnow getting injured after 134 innings of work, because the fatigue sets in, the mechanics get a little sloppier, and then you're practicing bad habits, and then injuries happen. But with this little natural extension, it's taking less stress off the elbow, and I think it's going to lead to a successful season for Tyler Glasnow. My bold prediction, here's my projection. My projection for Tyler Glasnow for the 2025 season. I got Tyler Glasnow making another career high in innings. Another career high in innings. I think he's going to pitch 141 innings. I think he's going to have a 3.39 ERA, a 3.39 ERA, a 3.12 FIP. I think he leads the team with a 33.4% strikeout rate. And my bold prediction for Tyler Glasnow is he leads the Dodgers in postseason innings and that he's their game one starter in the World Series. I think that's the kind of year that Tyler Glasnow is going to have because of this adjustment, because I think the 6-man rotation also is going to help him too. Maybe he doesn't go 140 plus innings. Maybe it is around 120, but I do think that everything is going to be designed to keep him on the mound. And the thing is, less innings doesn't always translate to less injuries. I mean, some guys, they need to throw to be able to stay healthy and stay warm. But I think that this has to be the year for Tyler Glasnow. This has to be it. They signed that $136.5 million extension, and he's already over 30. His stuff is electric. The curveball's nasty. The fastball's elite. The slider is just ridiculous. His stuff takes a backseat to no one. And I think that with the emphasis on trying to stay healthy all season long, it would be a massive breakthrough for Tyler Glasnow. And that's my bold prediction. Dodgers game one start in the World Series, and he leads the team in innings pitched this year because he's that good. Let's not forget he was an all-star last season. Okay, now moving on to Blake Snell. Snellzilla, the Dodgers' big off-season acquisition. Snell is going to be an extremely fun pitcher to watch for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, just a quick and easy, quick and dirty scouting report on Snellzilla. You got a mid-90s fastball. We'll touch 96, 97. He's got a plus curveball, though, a plus slider, and a plus changeup. He's got a 50% whiff rate on all three of his off-speed pitches. And he's so effective with it because he stays away from the heart of the plate. He does that better than any pitcher in baseball right now. And this is a pitcher that's perfect for the Dodgers because he epitomizes the modern pitcher in baseball. And that is that he misses bats. He chases strikeouts. Now, does that include walking more hitters sometimes? It does. Does that include higher pitch counts? It does. But also, you avoid barrels and you get more whiffs. That's what happens. And the breaking ball is so good that it's able to avoid the soft spot. And it also has such a sharp bite that you see opposing hitters, they're able to get a little contact and foul balls off. So he's so tough to square up that sometimes you'll see longer at-bats, you'll see hitters make contact, you'll see the pitch count go up. But the man is absolutely nasty. I mean, in his last 4 starts of the 2024 season, he gave up 2 hits or less in 9 of them. He gave up a total of 11 runs. And I look at his projection next season, I got him going a 2.8 ERA. A 2.8 ERA, making 24 starts for the Dodgers. My bold prediction for Blake Snell is he will be the next Dodger to throw a no-hitter. We haven't had a no-hitter since 2018 for the Dodgers. We have not had a no-no since then. It has been too long. It has been too long, and we need to see it this season. Do you guys remember who participated in the team no-hitter? Walker Buehler, Tony Cingrani. Yeah, you got Adam Liberatore. And how about Yimmy Garcia?
Yimmy.
That was the big 4 right there. So my bold prediction is he throws a no-hitter for the Dodgers. He did it last year with the Giants. And will he win his 3rd Cy Young? It's very possible. I think he's going to be the one guy from an inning standpoint is going to put up the cumulative stats to be there. And the thing about Blake Snell is this, his career is interesting in that when he goes deep into games and he pitches a full season, he wins Cy Youngs. Think about this. He's pitched 180 or more innings twice in his career. Both those times he won the Cy Young. And outside of those times, he has not ever gotten a Cy Young vote as far as being in the top 10. So that definitely is very, very interesting. But what makes me think he's going to have such a great year is he's not a great first half pitcher. He never has been, but I think he's going to have a better first half than he has throughout his career. And I look at the start he had, the late push he had to his season last year. He was pitching as well as any pitcher in all of Major League Baseball. You look at the season he had, the final 80 and a thirds innings, of his season last year for the Giants, he posted a 1.23 ERA. That was the best in the sport in that stretch. He had a 38.1% strikeout rate in that stretch. And also the walk rate, I used to say, gives it so many walks, my dog gets jealous. And I told you why those walks are there. The walk rate is trended downward. You've seen him have a walk rate of 13.3% a couple years ago. Well, in 2023, that's where it was, 13.3%. 2024, the walk rate was down to 10%. That's still higher than the 8.2% league average, but that is a significant improvement in that stretch. And I also want to point out that down the stretch, I mean, he has a 3.33 ERA in 48 and a thirds postseason innings. If you look at his late season ERA, July, a 2.43 ERA. August, a 2.44 ERA. September, a 2.14 ERA. He is one of, if not the best second half pitchers in the history of this sport. He has the highest strikeouts per nine in Major League Baseball history at over 11.2 strikeouts per nine. And also, the thing I want to point out is he made an adjustment a couple years ago with the San Diego Padres. And since then, he has been one of the most effective pitchers in all of Major League Baseball for a long stretch. And now he is in Dodger blue. He's in Dodger blue. Think about this. In his last 84 starts, going all the way back to his time with the Padres, when they made some tweaks to his pitching sequence back in 2021, he's had a 2.72 ERA and a 33.1% strikeout rate and 11.2% walk rate. And those are some of the best numbers that you'll see in the game. And this guy is going to have a monster year. He's pitched a no-hitter. Get ready for Snellzilla. The Dodgers domestic opening day started. That is my bold prediction for Blake Snell. Then you got Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I think that for Yama, he's absolutely filthy. He brings a 6-pitch mix. You saw the velocity cranking up in his first start of the season in Tokyo. We saw some 97s up there. And I think for me, the biggest takeaway was how firm and how hard that splitter was. Over 90 on the splitty. He did 92, 93 on that splitter. He did make 18 starts last year. He averages 5 innings per start. The number one thing I'm looking for Yamamoto is more efficiency. I want to see more innings per start like we saw from him in the NPB. And Yamamoto, I think you look at some of the projections, is he going to be a guy that's 160 plus innings pitcher, or will he be down to 150? Will he miss any time? He missed almost 3 months due to a shoulder injury, rotator cuff, tricep tear. They were calling it 50 different things at one point. But I think he has a really good year. I think Yamamoto's ERA sits at a 3.39. I got a 3.39 ERA for Yamamoto. I've got him making 22 starts for the Dodgers. Kind of want to say 24, but I think they want to make sure that they have the best version of himself. My bold prediction for Yamamoto is he finishes top 5 in Cy Young voting. Top 5. I don't think he's going to win it, but I think he'll finish top 5. I think he needs more innings to get there. I think if he gets 24 starts and you're seeing more production, I think he could get there. Then we've got Roki Sasaki. So Roki, we've talked so much about Roki Sasaki. The splitter, it's a unicorn pitch. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The fact that it has the fade, it has the cut, Its spin rate is in the 500 range when most splitters are above 1,000. It's basically a knuckle splitter. It's such an unpredictable pitch. I think when you look at Roki Sasaki, Andrew Friedman said himself, we believe he's capable of being the best pitcher in the world. That's what Friedman told us in Dallas. Anthony Bonda said that splitter, he told me that was the best pitch that he's ever seen of any pitcher ever. And Bonda's trying to learn a splitter. I think with Roki Sasaki, he's going to win Rookie of the Year. He's going to have to learn to pitch with that slider and have that third pitch, but I have high expectations for him. Bold prediction for him is an immaculate inning. An immaculate inning. Antonio, what do you think about that one?
You know what? I can see Roki Sasaki doing that, but I got to say, I feel like Dustin May is going to be the first one to do it for the Dodgers this year. He's just going to be so pumped.
And Dustin May, immaculate. Okay, I love right there.
We'll see it first start. Watch.
I love it. Yeah, projections for Roki Sasaki. I think he's sitting at. I wanted to say my bold prediction was that he was good. You know what? Yeah, that's tough. I was gonna say he's gonna have a better ERA than Paul Skeens, but Paul Skeens had a 1.96 ERA last season.
He's gonna win the Cy Young next year, probably, dude.
Yeah, I think he would be my pick. I mean, Paul Skeens. Look, I mean, the thing. There's nothing I hate more than watching a show about one team when it's just a completely biased show that's all wearing the Dodger blue colored glasses. So I like to keep it 100 with you guys. Paul Skeens, he's the standard right now, and all these guys will be chasing him. So I think that throwing that on Roki is a lot, but I think you look at Roki's projections, I think he's going to have around a 3.53 ERA, something like that. I mean, you're going to have some innings. I don't think that you'll see any home runs off his splitter this season or anything like that, but we saw the command where he walked the bases loaded, and he had a walk with the bases loaded that gave up the only run that he gave up this season. I do think that he sits around 130-ish innings for the year, but I do think he wins Rookie of the Year. I think that he does get that done, and that is already a major win for a 23-year-old pitcher. We've already talked about Dustin May. We'll talk about Shohei Ohtani and some of the other guys a little bit tomorrow, but that is the starting rotation preview to start the year. The Dodgers, elite arms, the murderers rotation, the embarrassment of pitches, they're going to put this team in a position to, my boldest prediction for this Dodgers starting rotation is they are going to have the lowest team ERA in MLB history. The current record is 2.45, set by the 1967 White Sox. Definitely isn't the 2024 or 25 White Sox. But I think the Dodgers end up having the lowest team ERA in Major League Baseball history because of the depth, because of the talent, because of all the guys they do have, and collectively as a group, they're going to be fantastic. But let's keep it moving. We got the top 5, or let's push that to tomorrow. I think we're at 53-minute mark.
Yeah.
Let's go to the 7th inning stretch. 7th inning stretch where we answer all of your hard-hitting questions about all things Dodger baseball. The 7th inning stretch. Dodgers Nation.
The 7th inning stretch.
We got MG, Mookie MVP, Snellzilla gets Cy Young, Dodgers win World Series, May gets Comeback Player of the Year, Nestor Cortez and Jazz Chisholm ties for a hot dog eating contest. I love it. I don't know if the sounds are going, but we got Jack. Mariners have the best rotation in baseball. The Dodgers are second. Yeah, I mean, Gilbert, Luis Castillo. I still think the Dodgers have a better rotation from top to bottom. The quality of arms, the depth of arms. Give me the Dodgers over the Mariners right now. Justin Lamas, Trinant is going to be stoked for the White House visit. Justin Lamas, Jinjo Star. I hope Glasnow will stay healthy. David, Dodgers will enjoy their time in the White House. I'm glad they're going. Abstract, I'm not buying that he's stronger than ever after rapidly losing 20-plus pounds. Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between muscles and the losing of just the weight that he had, the water weight. Mookie, look, I will say, Mookie is one of the most deceivingly jacked dudes I've ever been around. This dude is straight up jacked. He's got those massive, he's got the massive veins in the forearms. Dude, it's crazy. You don't see it really on the uniform, but dude is straight up jacked. He's got these big shoulders, these big arms. So yeah, Mookie, he's lean. He is definitely, he's jacked, man. I'm not gonna lie, he's jacked. But you got the first cat says Dodgers off to a great start, sweep of the Cubs and 2-game win over the Angels. World Series champs repeat. Here we come. Yeah, Dodgers on pace to win 162 games. By the way, Pee Wee Reese stays away from Dodgers opening day. 4-seater 777. This team rotation seems possibly better than the Atlanta Braves old school rotation. Certainly has the talent to be just that. We need to know if Roki Sasaki is going to realize that potential. All these guys do have talent, and they all have questions too. Shohei Ohtani come back from a second TJ. Can Glasnow stay healthy? Will Blake Snell go deep into a season and pitch 180-plus innings? Yamamoto, will he stay healthy and build on his rookie season? Will Kirsch come back and be strong? Gonsolin, May. There are questions, but the talent is certainly, the potential is there for this team to have the best rotation in Major League Baseball history. LX Ramirez collection. Opening day should be a must. A national holiday. Love, that's a comment of the show. That's a comment of the show for sure. Beat Bunks Brian. I've got trust issues when it comes to Dodgers injuries. Yeah, tomorrow we'll play that clip that I ran of the craziest excuses you've given your boss for missing opening day. Yeah, we'll ask that tomorrow on the 7th inning stretch. Chris Frostaker, Mookie got his hunger back once he had a torta. Comment of the show. Paul Gutierrez, D-Mac, where will Ohtani fit into the rotation once he returns? I think that they want 10 to 15 starts from Shohei Ohtani. They want him to throw 98 to 100. He did throw more cutter and slider and sweeper last time we saw him back in 2023, but he fits into one of the 5 spots. I mean, that's how good he is. And then you're going to have a 6-man rotation. So I think he's one of the front 5, and they use that 6th spot to mix and match with other guys to fill that role. We got Martin. I don't like the new gold jerseys. It would look better, all gold and blue lettering. Look, they're fine. I mean, the Authentics came out a couple days ago. I'm going to get some good close-up pictures. I think your opinions will change. Look, they already went with the blue. Switch it up. It's all fun. It's about what it means. It means a World Series championship, and that's the most important thing. I do like the blue better than we saw a couple years ago because I think that's the best jersey in baseball. But still, I think the gold, you got to go a little over the top sometimes. Sometimes you got to shine, and that's the day to do it on ring day. Ray Brios, has Glasnow ever not pitched from the stretch? Never seen it. Yeah, he's been pretty consistent with his mechanics all career. Beat Punks Brian, who will get Cy Young on our team? Glasnow, Snell, May, Ohtani, Roki, Yama cannot pick. I'm going to go with, I think that Blake Snell. I think Blake Snell is going to have himself a year. I think he's going to be in the Cy Young mix. I don't think he's going to win it, but I think he's going to finish top 3 in the Cy Young. And that's just my unbiased take. We got a couple more here. Isaac, nice. D-Mac, much love. I feel like Tommy Edman is the true X factor in this Dodgers team this season. I love that take. He certainly is an X factor. Nando. What's up, Nando? Who most likely to get traded at the deadline, D-Mac, May, or Gonsolin? Interesting. I think that if Dustin May, it depends on their needs. I mean, there could be a world where they don't trade any of them because they don't need to. I think most likely Dustin May is a free agent. So I think from that standpoint, if everyone stays healthy in the rotation and the bullpen, and you feel like you have a need you want to address at another position, maybe I would have to pick Dustin May. But I think both those guys probably are still on the roster by the end of the year because you saw what happened last year. You had 3 starters in the postseason. You don't want to risk having that happen again. We got D-Mac, this generation's version of Vince Scully, voice of the Dodgers of the new millennium. Mike Boyer, that is a heavy praise. Vince Scully right behind me, the GOAT. And it's almost time for Dodger baseball tomorrow, but I appreciate that. It means a lot, my man. Coach Dante 2024. Any injury on Michael Kopech, Brusdar Graterol, Clayton Kershaw, and the pitcher's injury update? Yeah, we hit that yesterday. Kershaw's throwing bullpens. Kopech has already made progress as well as far as his ramp up. They're going to slow play things with Michael Kopech. They're not going to force anything. And he was moved to that 15-day IL. He's been dealing with right forearm inflammation since the offseason, and he started on the IL, but he has been throwing bullpen sessions, but you're going to see him in a holding pattern. That is what Dave Roberts says. He's kind of in a little bit of a holding pattern right now because they're not going to force him back. United States of America, if D-Mac shouts me out, I'll ask out my crush. Oh, wow. Hopefully that crush says yes for sure. Chris Frostiger, D-Mac, did you ever talk about the bobblehead policy this year? We'll talk about it tomorrow. I think that's where you can't pile up the bobbleheads like we saw last year. We had like people with 50 bobbleheads. That was crazy. Milan 15, Ohtani bullpen session confirmed for Saturday. Yes, Shohei Ohtani is throwing a bullpen this Saturday at Dodger Stadium. Okay, guys, before we get out of here, we've got the walk-off.
The walk-off.
And today for the walk-off, I caught up with Dodgers broadcaster Steven Nelson. Love me some Steven Nelson. I think he's a fantastic broadcaster. I think he does a great job for the Dodgers. And he's also very candid with the way he talks about this team and the narrative surrounding this team and how that's changed in the last 6 months to a year. I asked Steven Nelson about that. Then, hey, Steven Nelson will get you fired up. He'll make you want to run through a brick wall.
This team is great for baseball, not bad for baseball, right? I mean, so much interest in this team.
Yeah, like even putting, the fact that I work for the Dodgers aside, just trying to look at it objectively, the way I keep phrasing it is this. The great bowler, Pete Weber, who do you think you are? I am. His other famous quote was, whether you love me or you hated me, you watched. And so for the Dodgers going into 2025, you can bleed blue or you can hate blue. But rest assured, you're going to be watching in 2025. So ultimately, being that sort of lightning rod, it can't be anything but positive for the overall growth of Major League Baseball and baseball at large, as we're seeing here in the Tokyo Series. So anybody who's calling them... Now you got it opening up, because I remember just last year after they spent $1 billion, everyone was like $1 billion just to lose in the NLDS. And then everybody had those jokes queued up after Game 3 of the division series, and then less than a month later, they're ruining baseball. So I don't know what side of the mouth folks want to talk about the Dodgers through. You got to pick one. But no, for me, my feeling personally is that they're ultimately great for sport.
Love it. You heard it. The Dodgers are great for baseball. The Dodgers aren't ruining baseball. The Dodgers saved baseball. I believe that in my heart of hearts. Look at the World Series ratings last year. Look at the Tokyo Series. Look at stadium attendance. Look at revenue. The Dodgers are the best thing for baseball that we've seen in a long, long time. And it started with the Guggenheim Group purchasing this team. But that is going to do it. Pee Wee Reese days. One more sleep. Dodgers domestic opening day. Get those excuses ready. If you need me to fill out something to show your boss, I will sign it. I will write any excuse you need. Let me know. I got you. But tomorrow's exciting day. You got Tariq Skubal going up against Blake Snell at Dodger Stadium. Opening day for the Dodgers. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.